Hi everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. This video I will be sharing with you guys my current summer foundation or complexion routine. So if you guys are interested, do stick around. Back to my channel, you guys. If you're new here, my name is Cristna. I do luxury beauty product reviews, both skincare and makeup. I love skincare and makeup, and I also do occasionally luxury goods or luxury product reviews other than beauty, and occasionally or even more sparingly a vlog. So if those things sound like they're up your alley, then do please subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button down below, as well as the bell notification button beside it, so you guys can get notified every time I upload a new video. So I'm gonna begin straight ahead. This video, I am just gonna focus on the makeup products that have truly been working for me this summer, especially with my true combination skin. If you guys are combination skin, you guys can definitely relate to how products just don't work as well, or you totally have to change products when summertime comes around, just because your T-zone becomes extremely oily and products that work normally or usually well for you just start breaking down during the summer. So I'm going to begin with the first product that really inspired this video and inspired me to actually just do a whole complexion summer routine, and this is a foundation which I am late to the game in, but nevertheless it is that much to be raved about, I think. And it's the Hudabeauty Faux Filter Foundation, which looks like this, and I believe this has been launched for maybe over even a year now. The shade that I have is Cheesecake 250G. I don't know if you guys can see that. And just for reference, in MAC I'm an NC30. In Duor I'm a 201 or 21. So I will be honest with you guys, I just recently added this to my routine, and I've been playing around with the new Givenchy foundation, with the new Hourglass foundation, with the new Becca foundation. Nothing seems to be sticking well, especially now that we are deep into the throes of summer. My holy grail foundation is Duor Air Flash, which maybe in the beginning of summer or beginning of spring was still working okay, but as now we are in July, like mid-July, I can't believe it. It is the deep of summer, and it just gets so hot that now my oiliness in my T-zone just really comes through almost instantly, that I really needed to find a foundation that was more coverage and more long wear and more like ride or die with my combination skin more than the Air Flash. So I've been playing around with all those foundations, and this is the one, you guys, that, oh my god, I can't even explain how well it has been working for me, especially on my T-zone. And I think even the shade match is just perfect for me for this summer. So I'm gonna swatch this for you guys. I mean, not that you haven't seen this, but even the texture and the consistency, you guys, I'm a medium coverage girl, and I like that feel of not too heavy or thick. But this one, I have a mole right here, and I'm gonna try to cover it just with this. It's almost like a foundation slash concealer. It just is amazing. I use this both just with my fingers, I've used it with a brush, I've used it with a sponge, and it just looks amazing. The reason I finally bit the bullet, and I've read so much good reviews about this foundation ever since it launched, and it's highly rated, highly well reviewed, but the reason why I really decided to jump into it was I was at a Sephora in Seattle, and the sales associate, who was a guy, had this super set, like amazingly flawless complexion, which looked like it wasn't gonna budge at all. And I know he's been working for a couple of hours and under these bright lights, and he was the only one there, so I knew he was busy, but the way his foundation held on was just so amazing. So I asked him what he had on, and then when he said it was the Hudabeauty Full Filter Foundation, I instantly just grabbed what seemed to me was the closest shade match to me, literally sanitized my hands, used the foundation, and just put it on my T-zone. And that time I was only wearing a Clé de Peau BB cream, so I had practically no coverage because we drove down from Vancouver to Seattle, so I've had this foundation now for maybe 4 hours, well, the BB cream for 4 hours, so that's barely any coverage, especially if you're a combination and I like medium coverage. So I just applied it with my fingers, and I was just, the way it looked with barely any blending. So I thought I was already impressed, but I said I'll walk around and see. So after I did a round in the mall, and I would constantly be checking my reflection on various mirrors if I would pass one, and I was just like, this is amazing. This is amazing. I just used my fingers. I was already so impressed with how it kept up, even if I was blotting or wiping my nose. So anyway, that is the long story of it, but I've been using this now, and I've really been enjoying it. It is medium. Let me actually read what it claims, okay? It's a high coverage cream foundation, effortless application, camouflages imperfections and pigmentation, soft focus filter finish. It's almost like a really short yet really long description, but I would have to check all the boxes on all those claims. I like the fact that I'm getting this high level of coverage without the weight, which is the reason why I could never ever wear Estee Lauder's Double Wear, because it is definitely full coverage, but I can definitely feel double the weight of any foundation I've used. So you see how little the one I swatched earlier, look you guys, it does not budge. The thing with this is that it dries down pretty quick, but you can really blend this in or pat this in even with your fingers. So it's a two-way thing. Some can see that as a con, but honestly, as a pro, because you can also just tap it in your skin, it's almost like a cream concealer that is liquefied. I don't know if it makes sense, but for combination skin, I've really been enjoying this. It holds up very well. It gives me more than medium coverage, so I need so much less. And yeah, wow, that is 7 minutes just talking about the foundation, but you guys, it is so good, and I highly recommend it if you guys are combination or oily skin. It has the coverage, it has the wear, it does not break down on me, and it really has that soft filter, soft focus kind of look where your complexion just looks amazing. The next product I want to share with you guys is actually an OG, and it's two concealers, which I know I've probably spoken about before. One is the Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer, and I have a couple of these. This one is in the shade Sand. This one is like a peachy kind of concealer, and I like putting it just in my inner corner of my under eye to color correct. And you know, I tap it in. Sometimes I put it on my entire under eye if I don't really have that much dark circles. And this is the Clé de Peau concealer, stick concealer. It has broad spectrum SPF 25. This is the best concealer in the world, like the world, for blemishes, for spots, for spot concealing, even under eye brightening, anything. The shade that I have is an ochre. That is how it looks, and it's almost very similar to the Huda in terms of how creamy it is and how well it blends in using the fingers. And then for setting my foundation or my concealers, this has now become holy grail for me, and I am very surprised because it's not a brand that I usually or naturally gravitate towards. It's by Too Faced, and it's the Peach Blur Translucent Smoothing Finishing Powder. And I've almost hit pan, you guys. I tried repurchasing another one in Sephora, but it is not available in store. You can only get it online now. The reason why I like this, it really does, okay, for me, it does the job of a translucent loose, like like a Laura Mercier or Marcel, but without looking dried out. Sometimes when I use my Holy Grail translucent loose powder, this is a Canadian French brand. This is Marcel. I actually like it better than this Laura Mercier translucent loose, but because it is dry in Vancouver, even if it's summer now and my T-zone gets oily, with all the heavy coverage that I have, if I put something like this and pack it on with my powder puff, it just tends to look really dry and patchy. Whereas with the Too Faced Peach Blur, I just used my Sephora number 55 brush and, you know, just pat it on my skin, and it just really, I guess it just makes everything also blend well together. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's double purpose. It like diffuses my makeup almost as good as the Hourglass setting powders or finishing powders. And then another concealer I want to share with you guys, and this is a drugstore concealer. I haven't had this for a long time, but this is a good concealer, you guys. And I've ran out of my NARS creamy concealer, and I have tons of concealer, so even if they're drugstore, I try to finish them first. But I came across this. It's the e.l.f. 16-hour Camel Concealer, and oh my god, I think this is better than the NARS creamy concealer, you guys. I'm not kidding. The shade that I have is in medium beige. It's a large doe foot applicator. I would even dare to say it's better than the Tarte Shape Tape or any concealer I've used as of late. So it has this like peachy color, and I love using it on my under eye. I don't know if you guys will see anything, but my under eye has looked amazing. There is no concealer, you guys, especially if you are of age like I am, like I'm not in my 20s. There is no concealer that will not crease if you have creases under your eye, because you just blink so much times in a day, and when you talk your eye obviously moves. There is just no such thing, no matter what cream, skincare, eye care, or whatever. But this one is done pretty well, and I like how it wears. It's just so amazing. And I don't remember how much this is, but this is e.l.f., so I'm assuming it's like below $10. Last but not the least, you guys, for retouching, especially my T-zone, even if when I'm at work. Now this is gonna be a little harder to get your hands on because it's not an American brand, but I do have to share it with you guys. It is a Japanese brand, and I believe it's Sana Cosmetics. If you're in Vancouver, you can find this. Luckily, if you're lucky, you'll find it in TNT Supermarket in their beauty aisle. Sometimes they're out of stock, sometimes they have it, but it is the Pore Putty face powder. This one is in clear, and they have one in a red packaging that was like a mineral powder. It was also, I think, a setting, or it was a mineral powder foundation. Any of it, you guys, is actually really good, but this one is in the clear, and I believe this one has like a blurring or a mattifying effect, but this does not look dry on my skin. And even if well, obviously I can't read what's in the back because it's in Japanese, but as far as I know, it's like a clear setting powder, and it is amazing. When I put this on just to retouch, well, like for example, I want to retouch my T-zone, or because foundation or concealer is breaking down because it's been like 3 or 4 hours. If I pat this on my skin, like, it just looks so much better without looking like I cake powder on, or without it looking patchy or flaky and dry, which some powders tend to do. So, and then for blush, blush, I have to really share this with you guys. Again, the Jouer blush duos. This one is in the Cheeky Summer, which has the Terracotta Sands and Hot Coral. This one right here, I don't actually have this on, but I have this one, which is Adore Blush Duo. And this one has Adore Me and Hold Me. And this is a beautiful neutral, you guys. So the Summer Cheeky Blush Duo is obviously super nice for tropical weather, or if you're gonna go on vacation or you wanna look extremely summery. This, you can skip a bronzer. This one, you guys, is good all year round. Like, this is a beautiful neutral for me. The lighter shade in Hold Me is such a beautiful highlight blush. I don't know if that makes sense, but I can skip highlighter and bronzer when I use this. This one is neutral. It just adds warmth to my cheeks. And this one is like light enough with a sheen that it just looks like it's a highlighter without being too sparkly. So this, you guys, I highly recommend you guys get these blushes. They retail for 40 Canadian, and for the amount that you get, it's in a beautiful compact with a mirror. The quality is so good, and it stays the whole day, even if it's summer. So those are the Complexion products I wanted to share with you guys in this video. I hope you guys found this video interesting and informative. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day or a great evening.